Style, strategy, and plan. Are you prepared for the trading day? So this is probably one of the shorter videos, and we're not going to look at any charts. This is just about me talking to you about something that's really important, and that's preparation for the trading day. In my workshop, The 5 Essential Building Blocks to Successful Trading, I talk about 6 key areas of discipline, and I discuss the importance in there of preparation, essentially getting in balance, getting in focus to start the trading day. And there are so many potential distractions that get us to lose focus, get us out of balance. Family issues, work issues, position issues, losses that are kind of screaming at us in our brains. So many ways for us to not have the focus that we could have coming into the trading day. I'm going to borrow a little bit from the movie Cool Hand Luke. You got to get your mind right, where Paul Newman shovels the dirt in and out of a hole as they tried to break him. And we want to keep the dirt out of our minds is what we want to do. And that way we start each day, clean, healthy. The thoughts in our brain are constructive. And it makes a huge difference in our success in trading. So there's 2 parts to this. The first part is having a healthy state of mind, being in balance. Then to get our mind in focus on our intentions. And it's much easier then, once we've taken just a few minutes to get in balance. That, to me, starts off with a ritual, something in the morning before the market opens. And some of you are going to hate that I use the word ritual. Just some examples of what that might be, and something should be able to fit for you. That would be some kind of affirmations, like standing in a mirror or sitting somewhere that's comfortable and doing affirmations. In other words, you're affirming you, the things that are great about you, great about your life. Really taking in those things that really make your life wonderful. Or breathing exercises. Some people like to do that. Some people like to spend a few minutes in the morning before school focused on their kids, giving them some real good one-on-one time, and really how that fills you up as you appreciate them and they appreciate you, or some form of meditation, just something brief. What this does is it creates a state of mind that is open, creates openness, and especially gratefulness, because that's so important to our success. Is that, and this could be trading psychology, of course, that when we're grateful, when we feel really good about ourselves and about our lives, then we don't rely on the results of trading to do that for us. So that's really what makes that part of it so important. Me, when I'm actively trading, I do it a little bit differently. We all have different ways to do this. It's still a ritual. And that is, what I do is I try to do a sensual thing, where I breathe in some sage. I kind of have some sage in a little shell, and then do a quick meditation, and just at that point see what comes in for me. And I allow the positive. Essentially, when you're doing a meditation, it's not like you're not thinking or you're saying one word. You don't have to do them that way. It's just kind of allow the thoughts that are coming in, and I allow the positive thoughts that come in. And when I feel a negative thought come through, I just say, okay, I acknowledge it, and then my mind reframes it and said, okay, I can see how I'm taking that as a negative, but this is what's really true about that. So that helps that just pass by. And of course, in that few moments, I embrace everything in my life that is great, so that I can move forward, again, not relying on what's coming in the trading day to do that for me. That's such an important aspect of this whole conversation. So all of this is to create a sense of openness, to get some sense of personal balance. to get our mind right. That's what that's about, because now we can think about the markets. We can, think about our positions, about our trades, and not be so much in our head when we do that. More in our body, more in a feeling place, more in a creative and being place. That's important. And now we're much more open to evaluating the markets, evaluating our positions, what our plan is, our intentions in our place of wisdom, not in a place of emotion, because the emotional decisions are not going to be good decisions. There's a pretty good chance that those decisions are going to be based on reactions, based on some historical need, based on something that you want the market to fix for you, or I want the market to fix for me. So those emotional decisions are not good decisions. But making decisions in a place of being, and being in a place of our own wisdom, that's very different. So now, once we've gotten into this place of being, more in our body, not in a place of emotion, then what we need to do is to start getting more into a thinking place, because now the thinking place is going to be available to us in a different way than being in a place of angst or agonizing about something, and then allowing us to be in a creative place, allowing us to be in a receptive place, in an intuitive place. And the next steps, I'm going to show you 4 slides. These will all be much easier from you, from that healthy state of mind, from that balance, than from a place of coming in and essentially feeling like you're troubled. So we're going to get into just a few things more in here, and I think you're going to find these really valuable. And again, what we're doing is creating your morning balancing, essentially, your preparedness. So we've gone through part of that, the personal side. Now we're going to go through the action side. And here is the first slide that we're going to talk about. This is, getting prepared for your trading day. And the first part is reviewing your guidelines, the trading plan. That's a plan that very much should be how you operate out of. You don't have a trading plan, then that's really something that you need to do first. And if you're just kind of operating in a way that you're winging it, then really the first step is to design your trading plan. In my workshop, I have some tips about that also. But this is, really the key, the starting point. And if you're just approaching the market, well, I'm going to get in there and I'll make a trade, I'm going to learn. Well, that's okay for the first few months that you're in here. But, if you're doing this at some serious level, really the plan is key. We so easily forget what our plan is, because the market can take us out of our good, healthy thought process so easily, or we allow the market to do so. So it really helps from getting off track when you just review your guidelines. And again, if you don't have a plan, well, that's something that you really need to do. So the next thing we're going to look at in here is reviewing your existing positions. So now, if you're a scalper, you're not going to have existing positions, or a day trader that you come out flat all the time. There's still going to be things in here that are valuable for you. So the first question is that you ask yourself about your existing positions is, what were my original intentions about this position or these positions? Why did I put it on in the first place? What was the plan when I did that? And have I followed my plan about that particular trade or not? Have I violated what my intentions were when I put the plan on? And that's really key, because if there's a good chance, if you have put a position on and you miss the opportunity to take some profit in, or it's gotten beyond what your plan was about the maximum risk that you were taking, then you really, it's easy to hide from those things. So it's important to get that out in the focus. Does my original analysis and strategy still fit? So you have a position on, and you put it on for a specific reason based on your analysis. And now maybe the analysis, if you did analysis today, it would not fit for the position. And based on the strategy you chose, maybe it wasn't the strategy that you would like to have on now. And if that's all the case, then there's some changes necessary. So what are those changes? Write down a plan of attack. You're getting ready for the day, so are you going to hold? Are you going to add? Are you going to exit? Be fully intentional about the positions you have on. If you're not intentional and you're not choosing, then what you're doing is letting the market choose for you, and those are not going to be good intellectual decisions. They're going to be emotional decisions, and they're not going to be good ones. You only get lucky sometimes when you allow yourself to go outside of the intentions that you created about something. And if your intentions were to take a loss at a certain point and you do so, then that's something to be happy about, to celebrate, because you're working on a risk-reward situation, and you're going to want to make sure that your losses are in line so that when you have profits, and you will, that they're larger than your losses, and then you will have a positive batting average. The numbers will work for you. So this is getting prepared for the day by reviewing your existing positions and setting your intentions around them. So the next one is planning for your new trades or positions that you're going to carry. And now again, you're reviewing, what are my trading cues? What do I look at? What are the tools and guides that I use, versus winging it, versus getting in there and saying, okay, what's the market doing now? What are my opportunities at this very moment? That's okay if you're a scalper and you trade off a 3-minute chart. But, for those people that, that want to really be intentional to create the highest risk-reward situation, then planning and looking at how you approach the market, what things you look at, are so important. And that's even for scalpers, because you can change your trading tools to improve your risk-reward. What will you be doing to change or improve that risk-reward situation over that which you have been doing before? What can you make some changes in your trading cues? That might be something that you do. Switch your tools. Maybe the market changed and you need to widen parameters in some way or narrow them. So that's really important. What do you need to change to improve your risk-reward? And the next one is, what has gotten me in trouble? So you're reviewing all these things, right? Because you've made mental notes, or you've jotted some things down. You've even promised to change in some ways. And those things that you say, boy, I'll never do that again, but then you turned around and did that again. Well, that's okay, because that's how we learn. And we need to make each mistake a lot of times and survive in order to be successful. But just remember the things that have gotten you in trouble, and those things that you promised to do differently. Well, now's the time to really set that intention to do so, right? And then after you've done all that and you've reviewed all of these things, trading cues, the risk-reward changes, those things that you promised to change, write down your planned trades. This is in advance, based on the research that you've already done. Remember, this is just a pre-morning prep, getting ready, but you spent other time looking at the markets, looking at your potential planned trades. Write down what your plans are based on on today. If you have one thing that you would like to do, then write that down. If it's about handling an existing position, write that down. If it's about putting on something new, which might be rolling a position, which is really a new trade, then write that down. But again, set all those intentions and, you know, put some notes in there. This is the trade I plan to do, and this is why, and this is when, and all of those things really get a sense for, because you're going to want to go back. You get thrown off, and you're going to want to go back and say, okay, what did I plan for the day? And go back and look at it. And these are only guidelines. You get to change. You get to change on the fly if that's what the market's saying. But this is, again, setting intentions, getting ready, getting prepped for the day. And then the last thing is now, after you've done all this, if you've been able to avoid looking much at the markets before, now it's time to review market conditions. Believe it or not, all of that was done getting you mentally ready, getting you all set and prepared for the market, and getting all of the things that you need to do before you really get a sense for what market conditions are. You might like to look at the news. You might like to look at the S&Ps and how much they moved during the day or overnight. That should have so little to do with all of that prep that we just talked about. All of that other stuff is about getting you ready. Now the market changed, and there are things that may need adjustments. So how do the conditions change things? What are the adjustments you want to make to what you've planned to do? Maybe there's new trades set up. Maybe there are some things that you plan to do that, hey, the market conditions are saying that you're going to get to lock in a gain, or you're going to get to put on some new positions based on what you see. You know, all of a sudden things have changed, and you go back and you can, adjust the notes that you've made. But we don't want to avoid this prep that you do before you really pay any attention to what the market conditions are. They're two really separate things. And, what are my expected opportunities? Write it all down. It will help you from getting off track. So you are now much more ready for the day than you were before. You have gotten yourself on balance, essentially. You've gained your focus, and you've set intentions. You did that before the market, and now you see what the market's doing, and you can really solidify your whole game plan for the day. And you'll go back and review it. Things will change. Things will get off, and you'll reevaluate it. But you've set a course. You've set intention. And I'm going to use that word intention a lot, because that's you taking your power from the market. There's much less risk when you do that than when you give your power to the market, when you give your power to distractions that may come in life, or may come in losses or positions or any of that. You give power to them, and then they make choices for you. You take your power from it, and then you make choices about it. It's just so unbelievably clear to me how important that is, and how much it's played a role in my success or challenges that I've had through being a trader. So now you set your course, is what it really is. And if you get off, you have it all written down, because I've asked you to do that, and you can then review what you were looking at, and something in there is going to refresh you and get you back centered, is what we really want to do. All of this that I just brought to you, 15 minutes, maybe 30, and that's not a lot to give in the morning. It's hard work, actually. It really means setting an intention that maybe you were not doing before, about what your preparedness was for the market, getting ready in advance. But this is about you taking charge. And once you do that, I promise you that it's going to make a big difference. You are not giving yourself over to outside forces. You're creating your own being and your own success. Now, usually I end these type of things asking you to make a commitment. If this seems like it would be valuable to you, and I hope that it does, then I'd like you to commit to it for some period of time. You're going to do this. You're going to design your own morning way to get prepared, your own little ritual, your own list of things that you're going to go over every single morning. And I just gave you some guidelines on how to do that. And you're going to commit to doing that for, let's say, 1 full month. And then after you do that, check back in with me and let me know how much of a difference it made for you in trading and maybe even in your life. Because that's what we always want to do, is get our life more in balance so that our trading can be more in balance. That's it for Style, Strategy, and Plan for today. A just powerful, jam-packed little segment. I hope you found it valuable, and I'll see you in the next segment.